Good morning. This is a continuation of O Believers Exposing the Fraud and Bringing Forth the Remedy, Anna von Reitz webinar from March 28th, 2022. Excuse me. Source of energy for our cars, trucks, and home. There's going to be a unit generator and a backup battery bought, but after those purchases, and that's only a one-time purchase, there will be completely free energy. We'll no longer have a need to dig up oil just to burn it up. We're going to repurpose oil, and the oil and gas companies will not have to be destroyed because we're going to use the oil for different kinds of products. So we're going to repurpose the oil and gas companies. There's fertilizer can be made out of oil, plastic production, and there'll be a new industry that is not created at this point. It's to make components created with oil to build homes that snap together. No more need for the petrodollar then. And that's the international accepted dollar that is backed by gas and oil. With wood housing, there's a lot of problems with bug infestation and problems over time. The houses deteriorate. Also, it adds to the tree destruction, and this will give opportunity for the forests to revive. We're going to change business goals to agricultural view. The wood industry will not go out of business. We will just fund agricultural companies through banks to sustain and heal our lands, allow animal habitations to recover from mass abuse. So this is a new plan that they're trying to figure out how to save industries but stop them from being destructive. New topic. Federal Reserve notes. We had to wake up many of the IMF Treasury Department. Many notes do not meet the international standards. Many counterfeits, needs repatriating. The deep state continues to print money 24/7. They have been informed now. The petrodollar is an acceptable international currency. It's nice to have during the transfer over to free energy. It will eventually, I believe, be phased out once we don't need it to run all of our cars and so on, and make our heat. We are always told we are energy dependent, but our products are locked away from us. We are the #1 exporter in the world. Our perspective needs to change. We have so many reserves. So we still need oil, but now oil will be to create housing instead of destroying, burning up the product, creating pollutions and toxins. New topic. Patent Office. All technology you want to patent that affect industry is labeled a national security interest or concern. At this point, whenever you're labeled a national security interest, you're at a halt. You can do nothing with that product except sell it to the patent office. This is coercion and obstruction of trade. It's the abuse of the patent office that they've stuck their nose in and affected the people drastically. Another example is cures for disease. They stop it at a halt. The only way that you can move forward with making your product available is to sell it to the patent office, and they do not have the ideal that they're going to use it in the public eye at that time, because if it interferes with industry at all, they're not going to let it happen. This is run by Serco. It's a British company. They also pay our military. Why do we have a British company paying our military? New topic. This week I got several money raisers in the mail for our military. They don't have toothbrushes, socks, clippers. What? This is fraud. The military has had so much money poured into them. Wake up. Where's the money at? Our dogs in the military are not being taken care of either. Left at mission sites, euthanized. This is just wrong. Why are our soldiers not being taken care of? Used as lab rats, mercenaries, no equipment, uniform needs. Sit on the DOD, the Pentagon. They have no decency. Remember 9/11, trillions of dollars missing, Donald Rumsfeld announced? And Donald Trump also poured a lot of money into the military. Apparently, it's not going toward the military if the people that are in the military are not receiving anything and don't have equipment to make things happen. New topic. Bioweapons are illegal. Ukraine, real government killed and replaced. Our DOD and NATO controlled puppet government. Bioweapons are legal in Ukraine, so DOD and NATO ran their dirty business in Ukraine. Putin is destroying bioweapon factories. They are trying so hard to start a war with Russia. We have had a treaty with Russia since the 1800s that they have honored and saved our bacon on many occasions when British tried to come over, access our land, and take everything from us. We are not going to war against Russia. We are not going to pay for troops, ammo, and equipment. They want to start the draft again. We are not going to participate. No more criminality. The DOD, DOJ, NATO, and 152 countries have been notified we will not take part of criminality again. They will not use our people, our money, or our names again. No more creating wars. No more fraud. These people need arrested and hung in public to allow people to understand the situation and the veracity of their criminal behavior. They back everything that they say with media, fake, false, new rampant, fake and false, new rampant media is really going over the top now. Some of the footage that they're showing on TV is from 10 years ago in Kosovo. They need fixed and fraud, and they need fixed and fraud exposed. Let's now deal with everyone who is creating an illegal war. DOD, NATO, Department of Justice, Congress, crooked politicians. They have taken over free trade zones. This is across the entire world. They're international military bases. They use these areas for all their dirty deeds, money laundering, drug and human trafficking, etc. All need arrested. We need to bolster our continental marshals when they leave D.C., and who they leave D.C., that's the deep state agents, because D.C. is really the only territory they have in the entire United States territory, can be arrested, charged, and brought to justice. Congress, my bet that there is only about 10 honest people in the entire Congress. Write letters about our military being abused. Letters do work, especially when millions write. I am so done with clones, doubles, and play acting. We need to see justice served. I believe Donald Trump was cheated on the election. They knew about Dominion voting. Instead of stopping, they were complicit and allowed the cheating to continue. How can we recover from this? We need to run our country on truth. Even if Donald Trump comes back, shows proof of fraud, they want to occupy the Federal Republic. It's illegal, and we cannot allow this to happen. It puts us back into being victimized again. We are back under someone's thumb, tricksters manipulating the people again. No one is coming to save us. We have to be awake and run our government. They have the church, the church in general, and the Pope. They're great at whittling. They twist and turn all the information to meet their narrative. While the church is backing up, our poorly run crooked government and everybody else's crooked government, and they just whittle away at everything and try to make their narrative. Nasera, everybody's remedy, at Nasera, everybody's waiting for this with bated breath, that it's going to save us. This actually started as a remedy for farmers for theft of family farms and ranches done by the Queen and the Pope. No payout because the U.S. corporation was bankrupt. Well, now we have answers on that, and it's now been researched. The British Crown is responsible, and we are making claim. She has put tags on some money that is come due to us, and we can also now claim that money and go to court and receive that money. Serco incorporated all these companies to receive bankruptcy protection. Serco is a British corporation and has no rights here and is a foreign entity. Any one of the subcontractors that hired people is unlawful and illegal. They really don't exist. So some of these companies may be kept and some of these companies may not be kept. But legally, lawfully, they do not even exist because we have never asked for those services. Legislation doesn't apply to the people, it applies to corporations, their employees, and their dependents. The people is the public, us. Persons is the government, them, corporations. New topic, the bank. We are in control of the financial system, all assets, making few last decisions. Big things are happening in the next week or two. Fiat currency will be phased out. It's illegal. No more printing of Federal Reserve notes, effective last Wednesday. The deep state. We are going to print Federal Reserve notes 24/7. Then we're going to charge the people 4% plus face value for the privilege of using it. Criminals. So much fraud. One senator in Congress to date has a bill addressing this issue. It will be brought up when our Congress is seated. 160 years of fraud and criminality. Back to the banking. We are going to have American gold certificates, American silver certificates, the petrodollar, and the unidollar. This is not cryptocurrency. All of these are asset-backed. Cryptocurrency is bad news. No substance. You're at the total mercy of your communication system. You have no control over payout. It's a fictional wallet. In other words, if they delete your account, you have no proof that it even exists. We will not be going to a cashless society. Actually, we want more cash, not less. We have liquidity on large-scale banks and small-scale banks done this week. It's already finished. Individual account structures, in which this is like for small businesses, pension accounts, 401ks, churches, things like that. They will have liquidity by next week. Individual account access this week. And vendor cards demo is this week. Hopefully, I can show a sample on our next webinar. New topic. I love everybody, but I won't take bull. There is a new book coming out. It's a small book, but it's like a eye-opening, awakening adventure for people who take the time to understand the nanny state versus the granny state. It's an indoctrination tool on self-governing. Writing a small book to have this need filled. Self-governing starts with you and ends with you. Stop waiting for Donald Trump, the military, or Nasara to save you. We are our own savior. One step at a time, we stand up and we take control over ourselves and how we participate. Support your republic. The deep state, they didn't think that we would... The deep state, they don't think that they have the obligation to inform us of any remedy that they provide us. They are wrong. The Constitution preamble and the document itself supports full disclosure of all remedies. We need to remind them constantly of our standing. They have created Article 1 courts. These courts they create to manifestate and manipulate the public. They're unlawful. Use of territory municipal tag teaming to the public to steal our assets. They can't identify themselves because of two jurisdictions combined. So the court is absolutely illegal, and what they're doing is absolutely illegal and unlawful. We, the people, just need justice and stop the criminality. They took 160 years to create this mess. It's going to take time to settle these affairs. Our country was considered in terrarium, lost, missing, abandoned, all our assets claimed by the Pope and the Queen. They never expected us to claim our assets, claim our status. We have upset so many criminals with our actions. All this should be settled by July 4th, 2022. SIA payout. Reviewing amounts each assembly is due. We will be paying out when liquidity is available to cover those amounts. This money is not welfare, and people have been saying that they don't want to take it because they believe that it's like they're going to have to pay it back, or they're going to, be responsible somehow to refund this money. But this is not welfare. This is money due you that you paid in taxes you never owed 6 generations back. That is the source of your recoupment. It was from income tax, sales tax, personal property tax, etc. And all the fees and the things that they've done, like marriage license. Why do you have to pay to get married? No, you don't. You never did before. But the deep state, they can get fees, and they can get all kinds of service fees. So every time that they possibly could, they stuck another one on there. All of these were illegal and unlawful. These taxes were never owed. You paid in good faith because you thought you owed it. They never disclosed we were voluntary payment. New topic. Some government offices need deleted and some created, like the DOJ. It's an institute to protect the criminals from the people. Do we need this? No. The Department of Justice and the DOJ, which is 2 separate entities, that's one subcontractor hiring another, both need to be deleted. Why do criminals need to be protected from the people? We do need, however, like a public health bureau to prevent problems like the jab, big pharma influence. Public interest must be served. We need to fund things like good schools so that students can be able to think and make decisions. Good law schools. We can have competent courts. Good police training. Police officers that have respect for people. Offices that ensure clean water. That bank fraud is not happening. These are things that we need to put money into. Now, how are we going to do that? The deep state has slush funds, like you wouldn't believe, with unbelievable amounts of money. We could use to pay for all government services and expand all services needed. Now, they would no longer have any access to this money, and they have no access at this point now anyway. We can close all the slush funds and distribute to the people. We'll all be billionaires for about a day. The economy will crash and the money will be valueless. So the plan is to keep the money in the accounts and pay for all government services through these accounts. They can only manipulate the money if the people have the money. If it remains in the accounts and we only pay for services, the economy cannot be manipulated. Donations. Please help out till we achieve liquidity. We are grassroots, supported by ourselves and volunteers involved in our assembly work. This is congratulations to a lot of people who participated in this. We accepted all the states into the Union by vote in 2020. We signed a peace treaty for the Civil War. Two gigantic places in history. Congratulations. This is what our government is all about. Also, thank you to the states that were established before the Civil War. Your existence is what validated our claim to the land and soil jurisdiction. And the states that were initially there are the ones that voted to include all of the states that were created after the Civil War. This time we need transparency in all our dealings with the Constitution involving the people of the Republic. It's a new age, different energies, different needs. Let's identify the needs of the public interest, needs of the individual for the betterment of humanity. We have to grow up and look at the totality of our existence, life or death, peace or violence. We need a solid message of intent, showing who we are and what we want. What a wonderful time to be alive. Make sure that through all this strife that you do visit your happy place. We need to be positive. We need to push forward. We need to send love and positivity to everybody. The World Bank. We sent a letter that we support, and this was reported last webinar, but it got a little bit more intense. We sent a letter to support life, health, and love to the World Bank. If they cannot support our new philosophy, they can withdraw or hand in their licenses. End of story. It's their choice, and just because of their choice, we may not continue to use them, but that will be for a future decision. Let's see how they act. Good night and God bless. You have a wonderful night. Thank you, and you have a great day. Bye.